Okay, hi people. Hello. So, I am talking today about the peace of mind. This is a piece that I was performing with the Trio Transmitter. I was writing for the Trio Transmitter and performing with them on June 6th last year. It's a Trio Transmitter is a trio consisting of Florian Bergmann, bass clarinet, Alba Gentili Tedeschi, piano, and me, the violin player. I'm Benedikt Bindewald. This is a live stream for the Corona times. This is how I'm holding up. And I haven't finished the whole preparation of videos that I wanted to prepare here, which I will try to do while I'm doing this video. I hope this will be possible to manage. The reason is I was applying to this money that the state gives, and finally I wasn't the 290,000th person in the row. I was suddenly the 100,000, and then I was like the 50,000 in the row, and then I was like the 10,000, and then in the end it worked out. But it was just like an hour ago, and I wanted to prepare here for things that are actually happening, not application stuff. So anyway, I'm here. Peace of mind is a piece of the mind. It means because this word mind has different meanings. There is one part that is about the thoughts. So the piece is like basically talking about how thoughts are going into the music. But it's also about perception. Perception was like the frame subject of the concert on June 6th that we had with Trio Transmitter. There were like other pieces involved. And yeah, so basically the mind, it's you have it as well. It's the thoughts, but it's also the perception. So it's dealing with different aspects, and I want to show you some some stuff for the from this piece about the structure of the piece, because it is interesting. So where do I find it now? I have to go into my files here. Where did I put it now? Ah, here. Yes, there it is, the structure. So we open it, and here. And now I hope it will just open it in the way that I want it to open. You can find this piece of mind, you can find on the YouTube channel of Trio Transmitter. So you can go there afterwards and like listen to the whole piece. I want to give you some parts of the video which I will do soon. But first let's look into the structure. It is a structure. I was planning to have a fractal structure to this, because basically yeah, it was supposed to be like very, very thoughtful and like very like complicated structure, because this is something that is it's also like something that I'm dealing with in new music. It's always about these very, very complex structures, and then it's always a question like, what will you actually get from them? Like what's with all the thoughts that are going to the music, and what is actually possible to get from them? So I can show you here the structure. Oh wait, you have to move this a little. Well, it's not perfectly in the middle. Okay, I'm not seeing it. It doesn't matter. So you see, it's like the structure has 11 parts, and the theme is a fractal because it is consisting of 11 parts itself. It's basically like these Romanesco how do you say, Romanesco broccoli, that you have a structure like this to it, and yeah, I wanted to show you a picture, but I won't be able. Try to find Romanesco, or like the Mandelbrot-Menge is like one of the fractals that works like this. So it means like we have here the fractal theme that is basically also consisting of 11 parts itself. I can show you the score, which is here, and then I can show you what is it all about. Scroll to the beginning. So basically, like all the 11 parts that we have, like the fractal theme, the explanation, spectral, dodecaphonic bass, noises, movement, text, choral, audience, silence, deception, and amplification, they are in the beginning. So the beginning is like the title, it's like the theme, it's here. The spectral bass is also it's here in this beginning, the spectral 12-tönig, that's what it means. Spectral bass. The text part is here. Then yeah, actually no, this is the real part where it's getting the bass, which is a 12-tone row. It's dodecaphonic and spectral. I will come back to this later. I will explain this later. Then we have the noises coming. This is here in this part. The noises are coming, and then the movement. So it's like only movement here in these parts. So you don't have the noises anymore. You don't have music or noises anymore. Then it's a text part. It's here. So it's all very in a very small piece. There's like all these different parts inside. Then this is a choral. This is a chorale, like in the old ways that everything is. It's like 3 voices on top of each other. And then you have like the audience piece, which is like a little question to the audience. The musicians are looking into the audience, asking a question. Have you seen this? Have you heard this? Have you realized this? Then there's a silence part, which has like very silent notes. It's not complete silence, but it's like dealing with silence, like these notes. But then there are also actual silences. So that's the peace of mind, like with a peace, a peaceful peace. Then we have the deception part for a second. So there, just one is playing and the other is actually doing a movement as if he was playing. And in the end we have the amplification part, which is here. It just means that the amplification is like going on, like turning on and off again in the end. This is like an Verstärkerns amplification. So this is the amplification part. And well, let's go back to the can. Where am I here? Okay, there's my mouse. Hi. So we got a little insight to this first part, the theme of Peace of Mind. Now, now I turn it off. This was not what I wanted to do, but actually, okay, I can't really do something. I can't do anything else because I have to get you this thing. Okay, I will have to do this because I want to show you the video. So listen to my voice. I'm here still. I'm not gone. Yeah, I'm kind of gone. I'm doing something here. This is very funny. Just a second. I will get this. Just a second. Here. No, I won't. Okay. Okay, you have to watch the. We have to watch the video. I just realized I have to copy all the videos to the. Otherwise, it doesn't take any of them to play. Okay, so let's play this video and let's see if it works to show you this. Okay, that's very funny. I'm showing myself and this what I wanted to show you. This is like what it was supposed to play. Okay, I'll play it from the beginning again. Now you heard it. Now you will see it also. Hopefully, if I can get this to run. Yes. Okay. Okay, nothing is happening, I think. Yeah, no, okay, now it's happening. This is the beginning again. I explained.
ein Stück meiner Gedanken. Haben Sie das jetzt gehört?
Okay, we leave it at that at the moment. I'm apologizing. I'm very not familiar with how this whole thing works. I thought I can work on arranging the videos while we're watching something. It's not possible. Fine. So you were looking in some of the video now, and that's the beginning, and it's basically yeah, it's like a fractal of the whole piece. Like it's consisting of 11 pieces, the whole thing. I show you again. Here we have like these 11 parts, and since there is a lot of time, a lot of explanations in new music, like when you go to new music concerts, you have a lot of explanations all the time. That's something that I'm doing now here. So I was thinking maybe it's interesting to have these explanations while playing. So the second part of this video was basically us playing the first part again, but while we're doing this, explaining what we're doing. So I think I won't play you the whole thing, but it could be interesting to have some idea of this. So I'll play you some part of this.
Ich finde das
Wahrnehmung.
ganz schön aktivistisch.
So you hear there's like all the time explanation to what we are playing as much as we can. It's not very important that everybody can understand what we're saying, but it's important like to have this explanation all the time. So it's also I'm stopping this. It's also something about what is going on in the minds of the musicians. That's something that is quite important to my music. I have a lot of pieces. Babel was a piece like this. Babel with an A. It's a German word, Babel. Coming from Babel and Babylon. My first string quartet was like this. Also with like the musicians all the time speaking from their minds. Like actually, it was all written text, but it's like here also all written text, but kind of an mind structure, like insight into the brains of the musicians while they're playing. So that was the second part. You can like watch the whole thing on YouTube, and then we're coming to the spectral dodecaphonic bass. So that was an idea. The spectral dodecaphonic, like spectral 12-tone row, was an idea to build a 12-tone row, which actually is coming from a certain spectrum of overtones. And I made a little picture to that, so you can see what I mean. Is it now? Okay, I'm I'm kind of lost here today. What's going on here? Peace of mind. No way. Where is it? Come on. don't find it. It's not possible. Structure. No. Vortrag. Where's Vortrag? It's not here. No way. Okay. It's impossible. Okay. I'm sorry. I think I have to show this from the other computer. No other way today. I'll show you on this computer. Just a second. So we have here piece of no, this is not something that you can see. Okay, I won't do this here. I will play you the spectral dodecaphonic button, and this time I hopefully will be able to arrange that you can see the document. So I'll play you this part.
4,
13, kein Klick.
7,
23.
Okay, is it?
Das ist jetzt aufgepasst.
mein Hund
Meine
macht die
Gedanken.
Welt.
Okay, cool. So that was it, and now I found the document, and this is it. So to just give a little insight in what I mean with the spectral dodecaphony, we have here this is the 12-tone row, and it's basically in the base. It's in the base, and here you have the numbers of the partials, the overtones over this tones. And I took only, like, to make it a little bit more complicated, I took only primaries, Primzahlen, primaries for the overtones, and so we have like the overtone structure like this. And it means now these are very high partials. It's like it's going very up, but all these here are 12 tones basically. It's only each tone is only once, and here you find the microtonal difference, the microtonal difference to the normal piano sound. So what I wanted to do there is basically I wanted to make sure that we have a microtonal structure, but we can also play it on the piano. So whenever the violin or the bass clarinet are playing the overtones, they are playing the microtones, and whenever the piano is playing it, it's just about the spacing. So it's always in the right places. So the piano, when it is taking the overtones, I don't know, when it's playing like 53 and 43 and 37 overtone, the upper ones here, then it is actually playing them in the very, very high register. So Well, basically this register is not on the piano anymore, so I took this out, or it might be in some places of the piece I also like transferred everything an octave down. So we have like basically all the 12 tones in every row, horizontally and vertically. Everything, it's always the same row, of course, because it's like always the same horizontal line. So yeah, so this is where the microtones are coming from, that you clearly also hear. I also used once in a while I used the 11th, but the 11th because it's a structural. The 11 was like a structural number, so I took it only in certain places, and it was not part of the basic dodecaphony. Also because I wanted to have the 23 in it, and like it would be the same tone or almost the same tone. So basically also the 12 tone row, how it came out, it was basically coming from how much difference is there. Wait, I'll come back to you guys. It was also coming from how much difference has one microtone towards the tone on the piano, and where it was the most different, it was the first note, and then when it gets smaller to the note, it goes more to the middle of the 12 tone row, and then when it goes up from there, that goes to the end. So that was also like, it was all very, very constructed to make, like, to have this certain mind structure that you have in this piece. Like it's really, really complex structure. Actually, I talked with Florian Bergmann about it, and he told me what is actually for him, what was special about this piece is that you have on the one hand this high complex structure, and then you have also parts which have to be in a way free, or like some are just very free, and there's an improvising part, especially with Florian, who's like an amazing improviser on the bass clarinet. He's just improvising to a spoken text that he like, the text is written, and he's like improvising sounds on the clarinet. We can look at this later, but he said like this is actually special in this piece because it's like such a range from a very, very high complex structure where like everything has to be exactly on spot, like with the microtones and everything, and it's a very a broad spectrum of rhythms, and then you have these spots where it's very, very open. So this is something about this piece in itself. Maybe I show you because it actually also looks nice here. You have like, when you put them all together, you have like basically this coming out. And well, when you think about it, when you play a note on a piano or on a violin, or clarinet, well, clarinet is a little different, has other spectrums, but you always have these spectrums sounding with the note that you actually identify. You identify a certain note, but all the other notes are there, and this is what interests me in spectral music, that you have that you're actually like emphasizing certain aspects of one note. Like when you play the, I don't know, the 13th overtone of a note, you're emphasizing the 13th overtone, and like all our tonal music that we usually call tonal music, like the classical music, is usually based on the first few overtones, like until 5 or like 6, 5, 6, maybe 7 tops, and then it stops, and all the yeah, I took, this is also a reason why to take primary overtones, because then you make sure you get the overtones that are not again the same as before, because the overtones are very, very mathematic. You can like easily calculate with them. When you say it's the overtone 2, you know, it's the octave. When you want another octave, you take it by 2. When you have 3 and you know it's the 5th, so you want another 5th, you multiply by 3. So it's like all the time this is how it works with the overtone. So the primaries are quite important for that, the primary numbers, to get out of this system of like coming back to the same notes all the time. So that was like this part. So let's move on in the piece a little bit. Let's go into the structure. I have to like check if you're still here. Actually, everything's fine here. Now running, yes. We're already like far in the time. So I might skip the noises. The noises are part of new music all the time, and they also have something to do with perception, because it's another kind of perception that you need to get them. This is why there is a part for noises too. There's movement. I made a part where we're only moving our bodies. It's not there's no music to be heard. I have to search for a moment for the part. Yeah, it's here. Okay, I will show you. Second. Yes, okay. So here comes the part where we are only moving. Yeah, okay, that's that's enough. So here we had only movement. That's because usually you have a lot of movements that musicians do while they're playing a concert, and I wanted to have a piece where it's only about the movement to like get this into perception. This part. So this was it, and we can move on to the next part. So we have movement, then text, and text. This is again what I said before, like to show something of the thoughts of the musicians, but it's also like a text that is actually talking about what's going on in the mind of the composer. So let's listen to this for a moment. Actually, I can take this. Yeah. So I'm going to move on here. Yeah, there I was going to the piano and playing a little bit on the piano. And Florian Bergmann was improvising on the text he was speaking. While Alba and I were basically playing all the chords that you saw before as is. So we played the whole spectrum completely for every note. You get the idea. That's how it went with the you should look at and the other video is actually much better, the one that is on the Trio Transmitter side. There you get a better idea. So yeah, this whole idea of fractal structure means also like that in every part, like all the other parts are kind of inside. So for example, it's not through all the piece, like explanation, the part explanation is a real copy of theme and like adding some explanation, but later it like loses more and more this like this rule that every part has to be in every part. But here, for example, we have still the spectral dodecaphonic bass inside with this text structure. So let's get back to the explanation. For some reason I can't just move this picture. Something is really wrong about that. Nobody explains it to me. Okay, I hope you can like see all this. Ah, I can actually move it here. Yes, good. So we have the choral as this is like in all the times we had the choral with like more than two voices over each other, and it could be like in the same rhythm, unirhythmic, or it could be contrapuntal. I'm doing both ways. In the long part, the choral is coming. Let's listen a little bit to it. It's more counterpointal. Then Florian gets in to the piano and plays the bass line in the piano. So here you hear a lot of very tonal intervals, like tonal, like fifth and fourth, and consonant intervals.
So, wie Sie wissen, sollte es in diesem Stück ja um Wahrnehmung gehen. Und sind zwar die Gedanken dazwischen gekommen, aber ursprünglich ging es um die Wahrnehmung.
So, jetzt
Und da Ihre
just change it, just a
besonders
second.
wichtig ist,
I show you something.
möchten wir Sie jetzt bitten,
We're basically here. We're already in the next part in the audience piece, where I was talking to the audience and like asking them to do a few things. I just wanted to say like about the piano part. It basically takes from the high overtones. It takes all the consonant intervals and makes it into a structure that sounds kind of tonal, but it's all very like it's all based on this kind of 12-tone row, like on this bass. Florian's also playing this bass, and it's basically all the time a choral within this structure, but it doesn't really show because it's usually dealing with the high overtones. So then we're coming to the part where I'm talking to the audience, and in some point I'm asking them to also say what they hear. So I'm asking them, I'm going on, and then we play, and the audience says what they hear and think about it. okay, just as an idea. So this was the part, the audience piece. So here the perception goes also to the audience itself and what they are thinking. And then towards the end we have the part with the silence, the peace of mind. It's like there we have a lot of silences where it's actually you just listen inside what you heard before. And there's a deception part again. The longer deception part is with light effects. So one is playing something, but the other is seen and supposed to be playing this or saying this while the other, like lip syncing while the other are playing. Because deception has also something to do with perception. What are we actually seeing and what are we not seeing? And the last part is amplification, and this comes during the whole piece. It's always coming with some feedbacks. You hear there's amplification, and then and there's like a part like in the chorale where it like goes up a little bit. In the noises it goes up a little bit, so that you have like a different kind of listening to it. And then in the end it's only like the amplification. We're playing like very, very, very soft sounds, but they're amplified, and you only hear the amplified sounds and how they making what we're playing on the instruments into something else. So that's the whole structure of this piece, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll come to an end. It was long enough. I hope you enjoyed this, and you can watch this video on the Trio Transmitter channel on YouTube. And thank you very much for listening. If you want to donate something, since yeah, I still have to wait for if I will get some money from the States and Berlin for all the concerts that were cancelled. You can do that on my PayPal, bindewald.konzert@gmail.com, and you can subscribe here, abonnieren for the Germans. You can make a like to this video and or a dislike if you don't like it, but I would enjoy a like better than a dislike. And then we'll see each other soon, hopefully in real life at some point also. It would be really nice to see you again. So thank you very much, and goodbye for now.